Welcome to the Trakstar providing MultiRater feedback when invited. My name is Kelly Allison, the People and Culture Leader.
The objectives of today's session, participants will be able to understand the purpose and intention around the MultiRater function of Trakstar and to be able to successfully access and navigate around Trakstar to perform this task. We will now take you through a demonstration of how to provide MultiRater feedback. This session will take approximately 5 minutes.
Julie with Trakstar, you've been invited to provide MultiRater feedback on a colleague, and today we'll explore the possibilities of that in Trakstar. Okay, I'm logged in as employee Gingerbread Man. That's who we'll be today. When we log in, on our home button, if you've been invited, you will see a request here down under the requests area that says give MultiRater feedback. You can see the colleague on whom you'll provide feedback and the manager that requested your feedback. And so we can go ahead and do that. When we click here, we'll be able to provide that feedback. So let's take a look at that. Remember, we have been asked by Manager Big Bird to provide feedback on Cookie. So when we go do that, we'll be taken to a form where we can either decline to provide that feedback, maybe we're too busy, or we don't know Cookie well enough to provide meaningful feedback, or we can go ahead and rate, and when we're done, send it to the manager. I've already pre-staged this a little bit, and you can see that as Gingerbread Man, I have rated Cookie as effective in his work quality and even added a comment that says good quality. Now, a couple of things when you go to provide MultiRater feedback, you may be wondering, I wonder if Cookie can see my feedback. I wonder when he can see it. I wonder if he'll be able to see it. So let's talk a little bit about anonymity as it applies to providing feedback. Okay, remember our situation. Manager Big Bird conducts appraisals on his employee Cookie. We are Gingerbread Man off to the left, and Big Bird might ask us for our thoughts on what it's like to work with Cookie, and he may even ask other people, as shown by the two smaller circles up above there too. So Big Bird may be collecting feedback from a number of people on how it is to work with Cookie. And there are two types of feedback requests. The first one is when Big Bird asks us to provide feedback, and we do that, and the email that we receive in that invitation says, please provide MultiRater feedback on Cookie Monster. Let's talk about anonymity with that situation. First, let's explore what's on the right, and we'll talk about the difference. The second kind of feedback that could be requested from Big Bird is, with the email, it would say, please provide anonymous MultiRater feedback on Cookie Monster. Okay, the right-hand side is really easy. If you get an email request that says, please provide anonymous MultiRater feedback on Cookie, not only will Big Bird not know what you've said, your name will not be attributed to any of your comments, Cookie will never see it either. But the left-hand side, if there's a possibility of anonymity, is a little trickier. So let's talk about what that looks like. Okay, remember, if you get an email without anonymous in the title, it would say, please provide MultiRater feedback on your colleague Cookie. And if we as Gingerbread Man make some comments and do some ratings, it is possible, if you take a look at the top arrow there, Big Bird could share those comments that we've made and attribute them to us. That's possible. Now, in order for him to do that, he'd have to do something really deliberate. He'd have to print the physical appraisal on a printer or print it to PDF and then make an attachment and email it to Cookie. So it won't get shared accidentally, but it is possible that if he was deliberate, he could share that information. He could also share those comments that we've made as Gingerbread Man, but he could redact our names from them. That's a possibility too. So it's possible your comments could be shared if you made them, but they would be shared anonymously. And the last possibility is Big Bird just doesn't share any of it at all. That's probably the most common situation, but you should know that if the email you receive does not specify anonymity, there is a possibility that your comments could be shared in all or some or an anonymous capacity. So that's good to know when you're providing feedback. And again, this is the second situation, the really easy one. If you get a request in email that says Big Bird requests your anonymous feedback, you know that not only will Big Bird not know from whom the comments came when you make them, he won't know that they're attributed to us as Ginger. He wouldn't be able to share your name in any capacity because he can't prove that they're from us. Or he could, again, choose not to share anything at all. So any of those situations is possible. Knowing that, let's go back in and provide some feedback. Okay, so again, here we are on the appraisal. We can tell we're not anonymous here because we don't see a shadow head. If your feedback request was, again, specifically anonymous, you will see here a shadow head representing you, just to affirm for you that in fact your comments will be anonymous. If you see your name and a picture, it means that your comments could potentially be shared, again, attributed to you, anonymously from you, or not shared at all, or shared in partiality. So consider that when you're doing your feedback. And here, when you go to rate someone, go ahead and rate them. Again, add your comments if you like. Fill everything out until you have 0 unscored competencies and 0 unanswered questions. And when you're done, go ahead and send it to your manager, or to the manager, in this case to Big Bird, the person who requested it. Once you've sent that, feedback is not editable, so think about your comments before you do. And when we go back home, that task will be removed from the task list. Notice there's nothing on our home page that reflects that initial request.
Congratulations, you've successfully completed this module. For the detailed procedure document, please see your Executive Centre Manager.